Hello, and welcome to another episode. This is We Hate Skim Windows, episode 29, and today we are reviewing Return of the Shattered Constellation. My name is Rai,
Well, I'm Chris.
and yeah, it's Return of the Shattered Constellation. I, you know, I okay, this is a complaint before I introduce it. First of all, the name is very generic. And you might think to yourself, as like a more casual reader, well, hold on, how does that sound generic? Listen, there's so many constellation things that have been put out um ever since Omniscient Reader. And I'm not saying Omniscient Reader was the first. I'm just saying it was probably one of the more recognized ones to do this. Anyhow, Return of the Shattered Constellation follows a man formerly known as the Twilight of the Gods. He is cast into death, in a sense, and then finds himself at the mercy in the underworld, uh, under what, Thanatos, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Anyway, Thanatos is like, hey, so you know how you were originally like a human, but you got sent to like Arcadia? Well, cool, you're back in the human realm, just in the underworld. I need you to go and like kill all these evil gods and take their souls and bring them back to me. And then Twilight was like, huh? What's it for me? It's like, oh, well, you get to use my power. Also, you get to go back to Earth. And yeah. So he does it. He goes back. And he goes back to the time that he was an alcoholic former pro gamer. And apparently everyone really sort of hated him. He also didn't seem to be the best person. But no one really questions why he sort of got all these cool powers and yeah. The format of this one is what irks me the most, probably. Having been a huge fan of Omniscient Reader when I first read it, uh, I tend to identify constellations or like basically anything with the stars with Omniscient Reader. And you know how Omniscient Reader works if you've read it, but if you don't, here's a brief breakdown. Basically, like Dokja Kim or Kim Dokja is the main character. He is the reader of a novel. The novel has a whole bunch of stuff. One day, he gets transported into the novel, essentially. The world becomes his novel. And in the world that he has read, there are like a various number of constellations or like star figures. They can range from like Zeus or like the gods of Greek mythology to like Norse gods and other like mythological figures, historically significant figures, all of that sort of thing. And they all show up under like sort of cryptic names of sorts, and they talk in his head a lot. Return of the Shattered Constellation copy the entire system. I'm not saying it's a unique system. I'm just saying it's awfully similar, and I don't like it. I don't know. What are your thoughts on the? You know what I'm talking about, Chris. It's like the part where in the story it's
Yeah.
like, oh, the goddess that likes to hunt says you shouldn't do that. The snake that's wrapped around half the fucking world says no, you should. And it's like, oh, I hate this. I really do. Am I being too paranoid or gatekeepy, you think? Maybe we should be open to the idea of more webcomics using this trope.
Mm, it's kind of funny. I like the input from all the gods and stuff, and they're all kind of cute.
Yeah, I appreciate that this one gives it little like chibi sprites. It's sort of cute that
Yeah.
way. But it's also like a direct rip. And it's not the only one. There are quite a few others. I think there's Return to Player, which is also one that just has straight up like the goddess Athena says this and like, and stuff like that. And it's not the only one that's taken that sort of trope, and it's not the only one that says like something something constellation. Um In fact, there's quite a few that are like, I am favored by the constellations, or I'm here to kill the constellations, or, blessed by the constellations, this player became God. All the titles in the world, and they're all sort of like, it's all, X player, one day my world became this, and then all the stars started fucking talking, and I didn't question it at all. Um, but yeah, I don't want to gatekeep it too hard, but I also wish that people could just have their own concepts. I wish we couldn't just. I understand that Omniscient Reader did like really well with it, and that's probably why everyone also wants to read that shit. But like, you can't. But you can, I guess. As much as I want to say, you can't just put that into a different storyline and just be like, "Oh yeah, here you are." But you can. But you can. But you can. So that's basically this one. And his first task is to take down this tiger god who I forgot his real name. But he shows up as like the tiger who likes hardship or something. Uh
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, the tiger is like secretly ruling Earth essentially or something like that. And
Yeah,
so
basically.
he's like Thanatos is like, "Yo, your first mission, go and take out that tiger." And Twilight's like, "Ah, yes, he laughed when I died. He must pay for laughing." It's literally his reasoning.
Yeah, honest to
You like that
God.
like one scene that they kept showing over and over of the guy like sneering? It's like, "How dare you sneer when I was helpless? Oh, you'll pay for that, you fucking tiger." uh it's sort of funny in that way. Also, wonderful question to ask. How do you think none of the gods recognize that this guy, our MC, looks exactly like the Twilight of the Gods?
I don't know. Maybe they think, maybe they're based like all humans look the same.
Maybe they are, but like even like the administrator rabbit bunny, the blue one, that's sort of creepy but also sort of cute. Uh, even that one was like, oh, he's sort of like Twilight, and then they cut to a picture of Twilight. It's literally just him. It's like, damn. Guess how Koreans just look the same, Honestly, it'll be fine. But yeah, any particular issues with this one? How do we feel about the skill window usage on this one?
Mm,
Because there are skill windows. It is also not a game world. He is a player,
yeah.
but he's not really. There is a system, but it's like it's one of the logics of like, oh, this is a system set up by the gods essentially or something.
Yeah. I mean, he's not using the inventory, so it's already a plus.
Should we change the name of our show to "We Hate Inventories"? Because I feel like we're
Uh,
not actually hating on skill windows anymore. Did we ever hate
okay.
skill
I mean,
windows?
there are some aspects of the skill window that I hate. Like, for example, every time he brings up a skill, and then we have to read through the skill, and he has to explain the
Oh, true.
skill, and then I'm
Yeah,
just like,
true.
okay.
Every time he gains like a new weapon or something, that's the one thing that really made me stop reading Overgeared. Except besides all the other things they could probably argue about for Overgeared. But Overgeared in the novel, I don't even know about what the webtoon Overgeared, I'm sure it's worse. But in the novel at least, every time Grid or Greed essentially, the main character of Overgeared, he's like a blacksmith by trade, and all of his skills are like to make stuff. Not only, first of all, does he like Dr. Stone the process where he like explains the educational benefits of smelting the iron at precisely 370 degrees or something, but he also forges a weapon. The weapon is cool. It is made from like, I don't know, dragon's back teeth or something. That sounds less cool, but he makes the weapon. It's like legendary quality. And then the next like 2 pages of text is just the description of the weapon. and it's got like insane stats, and it's just also huge. And then there's like a whole page dedicated to describing the lore of the weapon. And it's like, yes, I understand. I also would love to make weapons like this. I do make weapons like this, and I give the same amount of lore and love to it. But like to read that in a web novel, it sort of hurts.
It breaks the flow of the story pretty badly. Like you're reading this fight scene, and then boom, you acquired a new skill. Well, let's just like pause the fight scene. Let me explain to you how
Yeah,
awesome the skill is.
true.
It's just
Yeah, and you sort
so
of have to
painful.
read it in a way, because like otherwise you don't know what he's doing. I mean, obviously you don't have to know what he's doing, but I would love to know what twin sword resonance is. He didn't really explain that one. He just uses it every so often.
Uh,
Also, how how did he make the sword from like a goddess he's not affiliated with evolve? You know
I
the
don't know.
I forgot what
Uh,
her name is, like Pillsbog or some shit.
yeah, something like that.
Something horrible. Why is the goddess of hunting named Pillsbog or something like that? Pillsborg? It's
Is it
like
like Norse mythology or some crap?
I've never heard of Pillsborg, Pillsbog. Wouldn't it be like Freya or something? Because like
It was like Tiamat's kid, right? Where's Tiamat from?
Tiamat, where
Oh,
is Tiamat?
Mesopotamian.
Wait,
Okay, I
but
was.
Tiamat's not a dragon in Mesopotamia. Yeah, Mesopotamia land, right? Oh god, I can really hear the thunder outside. For context, it's raining real bad outside. Uh, yeah, but yeah, I don't know. In this one, there's a goddess that likes to hunt. She's the child of like a dragon, and he's like, ah, well, I should get the dragon's child on my side for some ulterior motive we don't know halfway down the line. He like knows a lot of information about these gods because he's I think he's really just like fought and killed a lot of these gods or something like that. He's done a lot. We don't really know what he's done, but he's here and people know him for being like a deadbeat and they don't question that all of a sudden he's changed. I suppose that is fair, but like they really should question it more when their alcoholic deadbeat son all of a sudden shows up and is like recruited by the top 10 guilds in the country. I feel like people should question it more.
eh, you don't look a gift horse in the mouth, something, something, something. I'm just like,
It,
oh, nice.
it, if one day I showed up and I was just like, all right, hi, I'm Rai. I'm a deadlifter, professional, or something, you know? And then you're like, oh, you want to play League? And I'm like, League? I don't play games. Would you like not think something was off?
Yeah, that'd be kind of weird.
Okay, maybe weird to the friends at least. It's fine. This guy doesn't have friends, so it's fine. Oh, he actually doesn't have friends. No one knows of his changes besides his like parents, who already didn't give a shit about him. So it's actually fine. Did you have anything that like stuck out to you while reading it, or because like at least you finished it? That's like probably a sign of something good, right?
No, I just had more time.
Hmm.
I got sick. Uh, uh, it was, I don't know. I think the pacing on this one's pretty solid. Like, it has pretty
it it is.
defined
He's
arcs.
actually not cracked, right? Like he's not super OP. He's clearly OP, but like he meets with the Tiger Clan's like leader, and he's like, oh shit, I'm actually outclassed. Like I can't beat this guy. That's cool. You don't see that a lot. Most times, it's like like Immortal Emperor Luobuji, shows up. Oh, you're the clan's leader. Cool. One punch, dead. Like, usually somehow there is no power class. The main character defines the power class. But here he's actually weak, and he knows he's weak. And he's actually sort of accepting of that. He is also, though, doing something that I had issues with in solo leveling in a way, where he's just like got access to a personal dungeon of his own right now.
Yeah.
And only he can go in, and only he can reap the benefits. And he can repeat this process many times until he completes it. It's like the vampire tower in solo leveling. Or like any of the other ones that he fought, really. Almost all of them were like exclusive to him, only gave him EXP, and only he got stronger through him. And this is the same. I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I'm just saying I feel like stories are cooler when you actually have growth from the other characters. And it's not to say that like, the Ghostborn guy that he saves isn't gonna get like experience, or the girl part of the Get All projects or whatever. But like they're sort of small fry compared to him. And it'll probably
Yeah.
continue being that way. And it's not bad. Like the art drastically has improved, I would say. From like first chapter to here. Or actually, well, no, the art's actually been pretty consistently good. I don't know. His fighting abilities have been flashier, I guess, which only makes sense. But it's another one where I feel like it's sort of carried by the art in a way. But the
Yeah.
story's not bad. My main issue with it, my only real main issue with it, is just that it feels like they took like, oh, what do people like about solo leveling? What do people like about Omniscient Reader? What if we like stuck them together and then tagged on some stuff about a tiger? And then for the people who are aware of it, there's also shit, what's the name of it? Yes. For those who are aware, there is a web novel, possibly webtoon, I'm not sure, called Super Gene, and it also has elements of that, I feel. In Super Gene, which is the main character's name is Hansen, uh, Hansen, and his whole thing is that he gets like strong enough to become the strongest person on Earth, and then he's like sent to Mars or whatever, into the like galaxy. And in our like galaxy, he then defeats everyone there, and then he gets wormhole teleported to a different region. Basically, he's like infinitely getting stronger. It's got that sort of feeling with like how Twilight defeated all the gods and became like the Twilight of the gods apparently. Uh it's got that feeling of like, oh, I got so strong that I defeated all the gods, and then fell down and got imprisoned. It's a bit generic in a way. It's not bad though. I will say the pacing of this story is it's a lot more fair than a lot of the other ones right now. And that's not to say that some of the other stuff that we've read is like too fast or too slow. I mean, ultimately it's up to like how the novel did it, or like what you want to show. But like compared to like Reaper of the Drifting Moon, this one's moving at a better pace. Well, no, I don't know. Reaper of the Drifting Moon main character doesn't have any sort of like aspirations. This guy sort of does, and he's got missions. So it's a little bit different. You want to rate it?
Sure.
Unless you got anything else that you want to talk about for it, complain about some skill windows or inventory usage that he didn't do.
Mm, I don't know actually. I think it was all just okay. Ugh.
No, that's the gist of it. It was like it's good. It's good. It's solid. Like 7 out of 10 read.
7
Like
out of. Ooh. Okay.
all right, on to the ratings. Apparently, maybe we'll get a 6.8 out of 10. Oh, who knows? Listen, I'm just trying to calculate our things for it. We'll never get lower than like a 6.5 nowadays. So I say
Yeah,
7
we
out of
have
10 not
to.
because I would give it a 7 out of 10, but because
uh,
we would give it.
The art score will definitely bring
Our
it up
score
more.
is gonna fucking carry that shit again. Well,
Or
the
it's
art,
pretty bad.
it's good.
It's really
It's
good, yeah.
why are they all so good? God damn it! Just have worse art. Uh, well, the art's good, so give the art like a 7. It's good, but it's not like super insane. I
Yeah,
feel
there's
like
so many things super
I don't
cool.
know. I want to see something like unique feeling, and not everything's gonna be unique. But for me personally, like Worthless Regression has a really interesting style, or like Dungeon Odyssey. Is that what it's called? I think. You know the one I'm talking about. I think
Oh yeah, the one with the
the
build
like
the base.
labyrinth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, build a base and like the really cute
Uh,
like
Snake.
little snake minions. Yeah, it's
Yo.
got like a really unique art style. I'm not saying like everything has to have a unique art style, and actually looking at Dungeon Odyssey's web novel, the art style is like completely realistic and not what it is.
Oh,
But
huh.
I'm glad that they adapted it to what they have in the webtoon because it's really cute. And I don't think the same effect would have been achieved if the guy was just like super jacked and like had a bunch of like sexually charged lamias and shit. I don't think I would enjoy the story as much. I definitely wouldn't. But that's what like the web novel title page looks like. The guy's like super jacked and it's like a very western style of like fantasy game. Like something you'd see in like OG like Castlevania or something. I don't know. It just looks very out of place for something that looks so charming as a webtoon, but it is what it is. What would you like to give the art of this fantastical 7 out of 10?
Ooh, I'll give it an 8.
Ooh. Well, high scores on art as always. As we head the story, let's see where the things tank. For Chris, at least. The story for me, like I said, it's sort of generic is the main thing for it. I don't really care about anything that happens in the story. I read because it's a thing. Like I'm reading it, I might keep reading it. That's honestly about it. It's not bad enough that I'd drop it, but it's not like good enough that it's like something I'd recommend to a friend. So in that way, I will give it a 5 because it's good but not that good.
Well, that's a really fair rating, honestly. Uh,
You can follow
oh my
me.
god.
We can just have a 5. Could go
I want
lower.
lower. Uh,
It's honestly not a
this
bad story, I don't think. It's like just it it's just sort of generic is all. Like, I don't know.
has no like real drama or tension. Like,
No, there's like the other pro player in the beginning who like ate shit, I guess. And they like
yeah,
never
he
talk
was.
about him again.
He like didn't even ever show a real threat to the player, and he didn't threaten like he. I thought they were going to show a scene where he kidnapped the little girl because he was like thinking like, oh, I'll make her a hostage or something. And there'd be like a little bit of tension there, but no, that was just totally blown away. Like he just didn't even do that. It
No,
was
yeah, the scene we're talking about is like in the beginning, the blonde-haired guy, he's like a fellow pro gamer who got disgraced or something. Uh, and yeah, he allies with a devil demon, Mephistopheles or something. I think, if I recall
He thought
correctly.
it was Minerva.
Yeah, I don't know how he could extrapolate the two and be like, oh yes, the goddess of wisdom and justice. Devil contract. Yes, this is the one. I have been blessed by Minerva herself. But yeah, he like brands a bunch of people, and then he brands this like girl who's really good at running away, I guess. And then he sees her running away, and there's a panel where he says something like, "Ah, I can use this as like a weakness." And then the next panel is just him like, "Everyone, attack him!" Which doesn't go well, by the way. They get slaughtered, and well, he gets tired of them being dumb and he decides to kill them himself. Also, why is like Mephistopheles not doing anything huge? He's just sort of watching the MC as well. I feel like as a
Yeah.
devil or demon, he should be up to more shit, but he's not. The tiger's up to more shit than he is.
Even the snake is up to crap.
Yeah, even the snake is like making moves, and I mean, what? The snake is just
Yeah.
Jormungandr or Gander? Probably.
Or
Oh,
Ouroboros? Or
Ouroboros? Or
yeah, whatever
Ouroboros?
that.
Aura,
Yeah,
aura,
that one. I just
aura,
know it
aura,
starts with
aura, aura?
OUR.
Boros. The JoJo snake. Aura, 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 Boros. Aha. The funny joke. What would you like to give the story, though?
I'll give it a 4.
Ooh, you did go lower. May I ask why?
Oh,
What gives it a 4 instead of a 5?
oh my god, it was so boring. Oh.
Okay,
Oh.
you know, I gave you a point of an area where I was like, hey, anything you wanted to complain about? You could have said that there. We could have talked about it.
Oh, I was
I
gonna
thought you
do
sort
a
of
grading
enjoyed it,
system.
honestly.
He is. He doesn't do anything. Oh my god.
Wait, well, okay, what do you mean he doesn't do anything? He, like,
Okay, so for
kills his good amount of people. He blew up a whole
like,
government research or a whole, like, research facility.
like things are happening in the story, but he never
Hmm.
has to like make any decisions that are actually meaningful, because he all he has to do is kind of like overpower the situation. So you're just reading through the story, and like the solution is to like I don't know, some new skill was granted, and we have to read through the skill, and then he's like, this skill will perfectly handle the situation, and you're kind of like, okay, uh,
He
and
does
it just feels
gain
like
very convenient level up shit.
it
Eh,
just never feels like he has to do anything like actually. He doesn't have to actually think anything meaningfully. He doesn't have to like actually make any hard decisions. He's just
Yeah,
kind of breezing through this story,
it's
and you're kind of like,
it's
yeah,
sort of convenient, yeah, I will agree. Especially the part where like he meets the Ghostborn guy. How did they
simple
manage
salt.
to solve it so without conflict, without anything? It was like, hey, listen, I'll cure you, and then you'll just be my friend. And it's like, oh yeah, sure, why not? Are
It's
are you
yeah,
not questioning why this guy has the power to cure you? Are you not like worried about his like past godlike abilities essentially? Are you not concerned at all? No? Okay, sure. Yeah.
also he knew the guy's father. He knew so much about this person. I
Yeah,
feel like
he
there
knew
could
the
have been a
guy's
lot of.
dad.
I feel like maybe that should have been mentioned. I don't
He should have
know. Like
said
it would have
something,
made
I
things more.
feel.
It would have made things more interesting
But
at
the
least.
Ghostborn guy doesn't know his dad, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he doesn't. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
And and then he's like, "Call me brother." And then he's like, "Oh, I'm messing up the family tree." Like what's happening here? But what even happened to the
Uh,
dad? I,
oh no, honestly,
his dad
it's
was never
weird.
real to begin with. It was like a shadow of Twilight. So I guess when Twilight died, maybe he also died. I actually don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, who knows? I it's yeah, things are convenient. The main character does sort of breeze along. I still don't
Kind
like
of,
that his parents
yeah.
are like, "Oh, the gift horse." And they're just so fine with him being like changed. And even his like older sister at one point is like, "Don't you think it's sort of weird that he's like quit drinking, stop being like a piece of shit, and now he's got friends?" And the mom's like, "No, shh, let him cook." It's like, what the fuck? Like, I I would have questioned things if well, I guess he doesn't have friends. So if I had a younger sibling or something who was heavy into drinking, had a drinking addiction over the last 3 years or something, this is not something that's factual, by the way. But if that was the case, and then all of a sudden they quit and they're like, "All right, I'm a pro gamer now," I'd be a little concerned.
Okay,
Like,
but what if instead of turning into a pro gamer, they turned into like a billionaire and then they gave you things?
okay, how much money?
Like a couple million.
Okay, yeah, I don't question anything. Yeah, that's my younger sibling right there. Hell yeah. Knew him since they were born. Uh just keep stuffing those bills in my pocket. I won't say a damn thing. I mean, would you?
Uh-oh. You don't look a gift horse mouth something.
If the gift horse's mouth is made of solid gold and it spits some of its teeth at you, you catch those fucking teeth and you don't say a damn word. That's not the saying. I don't
Oh,
know the saying anymore. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth? Don't
something
kick a
like that,
gift
yeah.
horse in the mouth? Gift horse mouth? Boar?
Something mouth and gift horse.
Don't get eaten by a gift horse? Like I don't know what the I don't even know what the don't look a gift horse in the mouth. What does that mean? Like opening the gift horse's mouth?
Like you don't like judge a gift that's given to you.
Oh, like horse teeth bad sort of
Oh, something like
connotation?
that.
Or I always thought it was
Yeah,
like a
something.
Trojan horse sort of thing. But I could be wrong. Like, oh, don't look the
Oh,
gift
it
horse in the
was.
mouth. People will jump out and start attacking your city. It's a ploy. You know that gift that's been sitting on our counter for the last 20 years? Well, when you open that, all of a sudden 320 soldiers from Clash of Clans will appear and start tearing down your walls from within. Your 36-day shield won't last against that. I've been watching some weird ads. You ever get those Call of the Dragon ads? Call of Dragon, I think is the game. It's like made by the
Mm,
same studio, or made by a similar studio that did uh I don't remember right now. It's some like big mobile game studio in the West. Anyway,
okay.
I got roped into playing the game. They were like, "Hey, you should play this game." And then like some YouTuber I was watching was featured in the ad, and they were like, "Hey, you should play the game." And I was like, "Oh, maybe I should play the game." It's just Clash of Clans. I don't know what I expected. It's Clash of Clans, but you can gacha for the best heroes.
Uh,
And the heroes count as like mega units they can send into battle, but like I it's sort of painful. Oh, every game is really just a copy of another game. Alright, characters. So the main character is sort of cool. He's also sort of generic.
he's a super Mary Sue. Oh my god.
Yeah, I can see this one as being, I would argue, more Mary Sue than like Kim Docha. Because in this one,
Oh.
literally, he talks to people and like, all right, sure, I'll help you.
Mm.
Or even the gods. Like, why the hell is the goddess of hunting still attached to him? He's got like 6 gods on him. Or are they all still paying attention to him? Well, I guess in the same way Kim Dokja has like 20 gods on him. Maybe that's the same logic. But
They just know how to do everything. It's kind of stupid.
yeah, he yeah. You'd think he'd be more unfamiliar with how to learn the tiger skills. No, he sees them once and he's like, alright, I got it. Don't worry.
But like, there's just random knowledge accounts like, oh, the Jagweed, they do this. But you're like, why do you know this useless information?
Well, I mean, he did spend like a couple hundred years like in a different world. I don't think it's too weird that he knows what that stuff is, especially since like Cersei's or whatever, the shadow guy, the Ghostborn's dad, like he's literally made out of like spirits. So I feel like
Yeah.
he would be pretty familiar with Jagwe stuff. I could be wrong though. It is a little weird that he neutralized everything so fucking easily. It's actually sort of annoying. He like faces no hardship.
He just does everything. It's like, excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah. He yeah. And then aside from him, there's like the Ghostborn guy, but he's sort of not really developed at the moment, so we don't really care about him. And then there's like
Yeah,
no one else we care about, really.
pretty much.
Yeah, there's like the
I don't.
the girl that was experimented on who's like no super strong. There's
Yeah.
her brother who's like washed over by the snake, or well, the snake was like, hey yo, like snoop on your friend, can you? And then the brother was like, don't worry, I'll just tell him. Like what the fuck? Why'd you do that? I actually don't understand. The snake was like, hey, I'll teach you dark magic if you spy on this guy. He's like, hey, bro, I'm spying on you. Is that fine? Why'd you ask? Why? You had no reason to. But you know, we don't question it. If that's the extent of a Mary Sue or something, then so be it. Yeah, I don't think his coolness factor is enough to carry him even like for a 5. I'll give the characters a solid 3 out of 10. How about that? Real solid.
I mean, like, I don't hate them. They're just
They're not very
boring.
memorable though. His
Yeah.
powers are cool, yes, but like, first of all, they're not his. Like, half his powers are from the fucking tiger. But like, aren't you supposed to be like subjugating the tiger and not just learning all of the tiger's techniques? I
Yeah, I'll see.
like, if he didn't join the tiger clan, he wouldn't have those skills. I mean, sure, he could like probably learn them anyway, but I I just feel like it's it's painful in a way. Don't get me wrong, story and the pacing are pretty decent, but like this part where I like it more. I like the world after end, that sort of logic of like the main character just like making his own shit. Granted, that guy's just sort of like thrust Saitama, but like I prefer it when the player or the main character has like their own unique sort of way of fighting. It's not just, oh yeah, I joined the Tiger Clan. No, I just used the Tiger Clan stuff. And oh, look, the Tiger Clan made this technique. I used it and made it into a slightly different technique. It's basically the same thing though, but it's purple. I I have grievance. But what will you give characters?
I'll give them a 4.
For it shall be.
I
And
feel like the
now,
scores get lower the longer the story is. Because I'm forced
yes.
to endure more of the pain. I'm like, oh, I read 80 or how many chapters? 60 something.
Okay, so actually don't
64.
have a thing pulled up. That's 3.5 plus 7.5. Hold on, I've got a 7.5 plus 3.5 plus 4.5. That is 15.5 divided by 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. Oh,
Like a 5 point something, right?
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I guess it's not a 7 out of 10. What the fuck? Okay, 5.16.
Ooh,
Ooh. Did I shit
pretty.
on it too hard?
No.
No, it's just not very good.
It was
Oh,
so boring.
you know
I
what I
was so
regret? I
sad.
regret rating Worthless Regression like pretty low. And now I know that that
Oh.
like episode's not even on YouTube because it got fucking copyright struck. But like I'm pretty sure we rated I'm pretty sure we rated Worthless Regression probably around the same amount, if
Yeah, I
not
think so.
possibly lower.
We were really cruel in the beginning.
Yeah, we got really nice really fast. At some point, we just started
Ugh.
giving out sevens to everyone. Yeah, I feel like
Oh my god.
Worthless Regression deserved better. It just got such a. I mean, you know, the main character, if you're wondering, and I don't know how if you caught up yet, but his whole thing is still, I'm just a filthy worm that crawls on the
Larva.
ground.
Oh my.
But no, yeah,
Dude,
he's not a worm anymore. He's a larva that crawls on the ground. So you know,
I
he's
feel like he's so unreal for that though, because there are so many people literally dying on the streets left and right, and
yeah.
he's like a
Plus, he's
triple S
like, yeah, he's
hunter.
reached the supreme peak of martial arts.
Yeah,
But in
he's
his brain,
so
it's not
unreal.
enough. It's not enough to stand on
Yeah.
the stage with my beloved fucking whatever her name
Yo.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Honestly, in the beginning, I was kind of like, "Oh, you need therapy." Now I'm just like, now you're just delusional. Like you're literally one of the strongest people on that in that world. Like
I
you're
I
stop
think
calling
he
yourself a
still needs
worm.
therapy. Everyone in that show, in that series, needs therapy of some sort.
Yeah.
They're all sort of broken. But recently, like he went through a trial, and I know this is a tangent, but I must speak lightly on the topic at least. But recently, the Worthless Regression's main character we're talking about went on this trial, and he like got stuck in his own mind for 2,000 years, and he comes out of it, and then he's sort of shattered, more shattered than before, and then he goes to train with the Shaolin monks, and he gets real strong, like very strong, but he's not like a demon strong. But then he does defeat the demon in any way. Uh, and he earns like a cool nickname. I think they call him like the demonic spear or some shit.
Uh,
But in his brain, he's still like a weak fucker, and he acts like he's still weak. I the webtoon is cruel. You know that one. Like every person he fights in Worthless Regression, it's just somehow infinitely stronger than him. Why can't he like fight something that's weaker for once? He he's just like fighting. He's like playing Elden Ring, but like always like 4 levels behind or something. I don't understand. He's already plenty strong, plenty strong, but the poor guy, he just wants to be stronger. Who can blame him? But that is Return of the Shattered Constellation. Um, well, for better or for worse, it's a 5 out of 10 essentially. We don't really do those usually. It's usually a 7. So honestly, change in plans in a way. You chose this one, yeah?
yeah.
I will choose the next one. I have the next one in order as well. Uh, the next one shall be, and I will change the title to it. This one's short though. You fine with a short one? Should be fine,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. It's like 25 chapters, but I feel like it's good, so I recommend it. Uh, changing the title now to Drug Eating Genius Mage.
Is this all just coffee?
Hmm?
No. Okay. I just heard the word drug and I'm like, how many have the word drug in it? But I don't know actually.
Quite a few actually.
Wait, really?
There's a few of them that are like, I use drugs to get stronger or some shit. It's a mixed bag of what. Okay, that text does not read. Hold on. Gotta find a color that actually reads. That's blue.
Oh, this is the
Yeah, this will
person who made
work.
Worthless Regression.
Oh, is it?
Or the artist studio.
Oh, that's pretty
And
cool.
not Worthless Regression, Damn Reincarnation.
Oh yeah, it says by a studio that brought you Damn Reincarnation and Player Who Returned 10,000 years later. Yeah, it's got good art. Yeah, our score is gonna go up again. That's crazy. But I like this one. It's actually like sort of fair, and uh, I'm not saying some of these are unfair, but there's definitely another one, Onasura. I don't know which one. It's the other drug one. Hold on. If I type in drug to search, what can we find?
Bug Devourer.
Yes, Drug
Or I just searched it
Devourer.
up. Ugh.
Yeah, so there's this one called Drug Devourer, where the main character like he can like smoke a cigarette and use the powers of nicotine to give himself like super strength. Uh, this is like not that, thankfully. I I'm glad. It's honestly better. I really it's a breath of fresh air is what it is. Hopefully we can rate it high. Or maybe you just do not enjoy it. And we rate it a good old 7 out of 10. But we will see. We shall see. Do you have any closing remarks?
Nah.
You want to show the YouTube stuff?
Yeah, let's absolutely
Put some.
beat up the like button. Freaking stomp on that subscribe. Uh, yeah.
You sound so enthusiastic about it. Smash that like button, and if you enjoyed, make sure to roundhouse kick the subscribe button for more. Hey. Yeah. We'll see you next week. See ya.